You are listening to Single Smart Female. This is Jen, letting it all hang out for your love life, examining your dating experiences, and answering your hot topic dating questions. Just you and me. No topic is off limits and no filters involved. I am here to help you do dating on your terms. If you have a question that you would like me to answer or would like to immediately upgrade your love life with our collection of classes and exclusive merchandise, meet me over now at singlesmartfemale.com. Welcome, Single Smart Female. It's Jen, your host, and today we are doing Single Smart Female Q&A, which means I am going to answer your questions about life and love. Now, with that said, today we're going to start off with a very special question that comes all the way from Malaysia. Now, typically, I tend to address my single smart females who are, let's say, 28 and up. And I love answering all of your questions. But I also because I think there's a big neglect out there. I really like addressing women in your 30s and your 40s and your 50s and your 60s and up because of the fact, again, like I said, I think there's not a lot of really great information addressed to you specifically out there. But of course, I enjoy all of you women. And this particular question today really, really pulls at my heartstrings. So again, this is Miss Malaysian Beauty, who is 21, and she found us, by the way, on Spotify. So shout out to my Spotify gals out there. I love that you are sharing the show. It means everything to me. Her question reads, "Hey Jen, I've never been on a blind date in my life, and my best friend decided to set me up on a blind date with this guy. We went out on the date. Total success because we were super excited to see each other again. He even planned the dates. Not so sure if that made sense. It does, no worries. And I was really happy for a while. I'm not the most confident girl, and he made me feel beautiful and comfortable in my own skin. I thought for once, maybe I'll finally get a chance of having a good love life. Things started going way too fast, and I ended up losing my virginity to him. I thought I wasn't attached, and without realizing it, I did get attached. He started replying less and less frequently, and then we pretty much don't talk unless it is something important. So I confessed to him, which is something I've never done in past relationships, and told him that I have feelings for him. Then he said that he's not ready for a relationship right now, and he thinks we are at different stages in life. He doesn't think that we are romantically compatible right now, but maybe we will be in the future. He says this isn't goodbye, and he still really does like me. After that, I've been keeping my distance from him, but we still go out together. He treats me even better than before and buys me random gifts for no reason. But our PDA is cut to minimal now, and I'm just really, really confused. Should I wait for him to think that we are compatible? Or should I just forget about him and move on? I still like him a lot, and I don't know what to do." Okay, Miss Malaysian Beauty, there's a lot of pieces that we can address here. And first off, I just want to say thank you for reaching out for me. Not only do I love the fact that I get to connect through the show with women in their dating and love experiences all around the world, I feel that you are being very transparent in this about all the different feelings that you're going through with this. And I admire you for that. So that's really where I want to start. Now, the other thing I want to point out a few things that I really like that you've done. I like that you've been out on a blind date. I think that's super cool. A lot of women really chalk blind dates up to being something that's never going to be a good experience. And the truth is they can be amazing experiences, just like this one started out for you. The other piece of this is I don't want you to discount, and I want women out there, just because things turn sour, I don't want you to view everything that's happened up until that point as a failure. So meaning sometimes we are given gifts in life especially as you step into my world of being an adored woman, which is obviously what you're doing right now. And I'm really, really excited about that. But one of the things that you're required to do as an adored woman is appreciate everything that's handed to you. So specifically, when I first started this dating experience back in 2006, I met this man who, if I look at it from the perspective of things didn't work out between us and he disappeared on me, then I couldn't really truly receive the gifts that I've been giving. I basically was saying to my higher power, you know what? Screw you. This sucked. And no thanks to all the crap that happened. But because I decided to really see it as a gift, the initial experience, because it was truly, truly amazing, I opened myself up to something even better with other men and my current husband. So that's the first thing I really want you to do in this, is to see the beauty in the gifts in this experience, the way you felt, the decisions you made, the how he has opened you up to experiencing something exciting and fun and thrilling even. And just really let that set in. I also want to remind you, and this is regardless what age you're at, but you especially, I do understand, and that in many other countries and cultures, women at a certain age start being it's better now than it used to be, but slightly looked upon as older, meaning, why aren't you getting married yet? Why aren't you doing this? And I recognize that potentially in Malaysia, you might encounter this. This is a possibility and a mindset that exists. I remember when I was in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s, and moved to Mexico, the question I got all the time was, why aren't you married yet? Well, I want you to know, actually 21, if you don't feel it already, and I'm just bringing it up just in case, is still extremely young. And even if you came to me and you were in a much older category, there's still a lot of potential here, and things happen and unfold at the right time as you allow them into your life, as you allow them to come in and light you up and lift you up. And sometimes we think it's all about the guys and what they want and what they need and what we're doing wrong in reference to them. But it's always the best idea to look what's going on with you at first, because sometimes these experiences, they're a gift for you to open you up to something much, much better. It could be with him. It could be with somebody a million times more amazing. So with that said, I want to talk about, and this isn't just with you, I want to talk about virginity for a minute. Now, virginity, in my estimation, is as important as you want it to be. Meaning, if it's very special to you, always, and if you really would like to be, ladies, and this isn't for you, Miss Malaysia, by the way, we're going to talk about the after effects of this in just a second. But for my ladies out there who have not had sex yet, have not lost what's called losing your virginity, I don't want you to ever feel pressured to go there. It is completely okay to A, do other things, to B, do nothing, but to take your time and to step into a place. And if you want to wait for a relationship, that's fine. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have sex whenever you want. What I'm saying is you need to determine what it is for you, okay? And that's super important. Men, yes, we acknowledge they will push to sex faster. They are still very connected to intimacy, but yes, many of them have higher sex drives. It is okay for us to take a step back and control the pace of that even more. And it is okay if you lose a man because you don't want to have sex soon enough, then just let him go. Just absolutely feel free to let him go, because there are men out there who will wait for you. I have a client that I've been working with, and she is in her 40s, and she waited over a year to have sex with him for the first time. And he's now telling her how in love he is with her. There is no set time frame. I want all women to understand that even if you decide to have sex for the sake of having sex, which again, I completely support you. I am pro you. I'm pro you doing things the way you want to. But if you step into having sex and you realize that maybe you didn't want to have it that quickly, that's okay. There's no need to beat yourself up. One thing we do need to acknowledge as women is that physical connection of two bodies is more likely to result in emotional feelings. It's a very intimate experience for most women. I'm not saying for all women. So for you ladies out there who are really turned on about just having sex and not developing emotional feelings, I'm not saying that that doesn't exist. You are more than welcome to that. But I do, with the women I work with, I want you ladies to acknowledge that sex is intimacy. Over any length of time or even one time, it is easy to develop feelings with somebody that you have physically connected with like that. So it is okay that you had all these different feelings after you lost your virginity to him, especially the first time. It can be very, very special for some women. For some women, not so much. And if it is for you, I want you to be okay with the fact that it was special to you. And it's still a gift. It's still your choice that you made. You don't have to be upset with yourself because you made it with somebody that it didn't result in a relationship. It is okay to just if it was beautiful for you, to just celebrate that. Now, I notice you said here, so I confessed to him, which is something I've never done in past relationships. Here's the other thing. I don't want you to feel like you have to hide your feelings from a man if you develop feelings for him. There are lots of different ways to let men know. And there are lots of ways. And if you let a guy know something and he backs off from you and turns away, it doesn't mean that your feelings are wrong and you shouldn't have told him that. What always means is that he's not ready to be your man quite yet. And a lot of times he'll end up coming around. So that's okay too. Again, at the beginning of this, we were talking about the possibility of this being a reflection. And I didn't say it in these exact words, so I'm going to elaborate a little bit more. This happening this way for you because maybe you're not ready for that committed relationship yet, even if you think you are. Maybe there's something bigger coming and your inner self, your intuitive nature knows that, and maybe consciously the ego or whatever you want to call it saying, no, I want this right now and this right now. And you're being protected either by the universe, your higher power, whatever works for you in your head, however you process that is protecting you from stepping into something that maybe you don't really want quite yet. And those are the feelings that you need to examine most. But the second piece of that is if he is not ready, like he is not really worthy of your romantic attention, he's going to fall away for a while. He could definitely come around again. That happens all the time. And I'm not saying that you need to get rid of him, but let's move into the next piece of this this is how I determine. Okay, so I don't really play in black and white with the exception of a few scenarios. One of the scenarios being something I will mention in the second segment of this. I play in all kinds of shades of gray. Now, not 50 Shades, ladies. I'm not even a huge fan of that whole book. Not that I'm against any of the sexual component of it, but there's a lot of dynamics, character dynamics in there that I'm like, oh my God. No, it just doesn't, no. But I want you to know I play in all those different shades, and you make life really difficult and less fun if you only play in black and white. So I want you ladies all to understand that this love piece, your dating piece, your life piece, it's constantly evolving. And there's no across the board advice for anyone that is going to work 100% of the time. You have to keep tapping into who you are, where you're at, what's going on with you. You deal with those pieces first, and then you interact with men in a different way. That way, you set men up to win with you versus making it all about them. So the fact that he's not at the same place that you are, you right now, you believe that this is what you really want. It's twofold. He's absolutely not ready. And yes, you're more than welcome to keep him in your life. But again, the second piece of that is you might consider taking him out of your life for a little while if you can't seem to start your mantourage, start dating, start exploring who you are romantically, because the universe is telling you right now 2 things. You're not ready for this with him, and he's not ready for you with them. That's very, very clear what I can see and just what is right now. That's what you are being told. So with that said, I'm okay with you keeping him, and I do think that he likes you, by the way, just so you know. I really do think that he likes you, but I don't think that you should wait on him. And in fact, what happens when women wait on a guy because they're not there yet, little pieces of her start to disintegrate. She starts to lose little pieces of her because it becomes all about him. Once it becomes all about him, that woman that he met in the first place is completely gone. If you need help, meaning you can't do this, like keep him in your mantourage without exclusively focusing on him, then you might consider taking a step back from him. Biochemistry is powerful. That connection between that physical connection between somebody is powerful. One of the reasons I put together my program, The Lovesick Cure, was to help address this piece and all the other components so that you can, if you want to separate biochemically and elsewhere and then just be able to focus on other men, you can do that. And you can also do it if you need to take a break for just a little while. And then once you establish your romantic sanity, meaning it's not about him anymore, it's really about who you are and what you want, and standing in that, you can use the program as well. And then you can incorporate him back in. But you have to be honest with yourself. That's the most important part of all of this, because if you can't be honest with yourself, if you find yourself texting him at random hours, or if you're drunk dialing him, or if you're doing all kinds of things that are making you feel like crap in reference to him and needy and all that, instead of powerful like we women are. We are the most powerful force in the world. We're equal to men and different from men at the same time, but we are powerful. If you can't feel that in reference to him and feel good in reference to him, then yes, you might definitely consider taking a step back from him. Okay? If you can incorporate him into your mantourage, but still focus most on the men who are treating you the way that you want to be treated, then you can include him in your mantourage. It's that simple, but I can't answer it for you. It's a very, very personal experience. Again, I want to remind you, though, that I have a good feeling about a lot of stuff coming up for you. You were lovely, obviously, and super, super young, which means there's some big potential headed your way. And I want you to acknowledge that all of this is probably happening because there's something gigantically awesome brewing underneath. And I'm not sure if it's with him, and I'm not sure if it was somebody else, but I do know that your attention, because he's not there yet and you're not there yet, shouldn't be about exclusively focusing on him. This show is brought to you by Irresistibility, expert help for women with online dating. Are you experiencing inbox crickets or real-life crazies? It's not you, it's your online dating profile. Let me help you do online dating that leads to real life, love, and romance. Go to helpmeonlinedate.com and I will send you the first 2 video chapters of my program for free. Hey, your hotness. Welcome to segment 2. We are going to do another single smart female listener Q&A. This question comes today from Miss Michigan, who writes, by the way, she is coming from Flint, Michigan, specifically. And I just want you to know, because random thought for today, I went to Michigan for the first time this year. I went to Detroit and Ann Arbor. They were both pretty cool places. So, with that said, Miss Michigan writes, it's been about 8 months of me and this guy hanging out. When he first got my number, he said he had a girlfriend. I appreciated his honesty, so I continued to mess with him. Now, this was supposed to be a one-time thing, but the sex is amazing, so we continue to have sex. We talk on the phone every day. He's been around my friends. Fast forward, it's now going on 8 months. He says he doesn't have a girlfriend anymore, and he's the one asking me what this is exactly. I do have feelings for him, but he's obviously a cheater, so I don't really want to have a relationship with him. But I haven't been talking to anyone else this year, and he's the only one I really want to have sex with right now. So how do I end this without hurting my own feelings? Okay. First off, Miss Michigan, I do appreciate your honesty about this. And I'm going to bring up something, and this is not, even though it might sound like it, it's not to shame you specifically or women out there. I want you ladies to know something about me. I have a real big issue with messing with men who are in other relationships. I feel as women, we need to own the fact that we are so powerful that we need to not act as if we just fall into these kind of things. I understand there are hormones and there's sex and there's all kind of great stuff happening, but it is still ultimately our choice who we are physically intimate with and when we do that and things like that. And I want you ladies to understand that a lot of times we do this because we're secretly afraid that we can't have what we really want is with an available guy. We do this because these guys are actually safer for us in many ways. So again, this wasn't a shaming thing because I love all of my single smart females. I love you all. But I do want you to know, and this isn't the case with Miss Michigan. She is not asking me to help her figure out this guy or be with this guy or whatnot. She's not asking me that at all. But for you ladies out there that do write me, other ladies who do this, I'm not going to answer questions on how to be with a man who is with another woman. It is out of my moral integrity. It's also, I know how many amazing guys are out there. Even if for all of you ladies like me, you have had tons of crappy experiences dating, there are so many amazing men out there. Now, we have to rework your dating experience and what's going on with you, and then you'll start attracting those guys in. But let's get back to Miss Michigan's real question, which is how do I end this without hurting my own feelings? So, as we mentioned in the first segment, sex is powerful. Intimacy is powerful. If you go into a sexually intimate situation with a man, over time, it is very likely you are going to develop strong feelings for him. And biochemically, it's going to make it very difficult. Not very difficult. It depends. It depends on your perspective of it. For some women, it's very easy to turn it off. For some women, it's not. But it can make it very challenging to pull away from a person, especially when you enjoy the sex that much. So I want to acknowledge you there. Just the fact, the physical connection and the intimacy. And I know it also probably feels good that he's the one asking you now, because that's a really cool power play right there. And I like power dynamics in dating and stuff. And I know how powerful we are as women. So I like playing there. And it feels really good for him all of a sudden to be the one asking, what does this all mean? What are we doing? How's this going to go? Kind of stuff. But you were absolutely 100% right in having hesitancy stepping into this with him. One of the biggest downfalls in cheating that we only kind of glaze over is the fact that even if you end up with the guy, that there's a good chance that whole fact that he cheated with you and he might cheat with somebody, that's going to last indefinitely, even years down the road. And that's just the nature of it. Okay? We as women want to know that the men we are with are going to be loyal, good times and bad kind of thing. And if we start with somebody who would do that to another woman, why wouldn't he do it to us? Yes, we are special, all that kind of thing. But does that mean that that's just his personality, that he's not just a loyal person in general? And I can't really answer it for that specific situation, but I want to acknowledge you for the fact that, yes, that's normal that you feel that. And it's a legitimate fear. It's a legitimate concern. And I'm not even going to encourage you to try to unwind that. What I am going to do is answer your question, is how do you end this without hurting your own feelings? By the way, brilliant question. Very, very specific. Like, you got that. You nailed that question. This is about you. It's about your own feelings. How do you separate from this? And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's going to be the easiest thing in the world. I can make it easier for you, which is why I developed the Lovesick Cure. I can make it significantly easier, but it's really about whether or not you're willing to do the work. You have to make that decision. You can go to thelovesickcure.com, and that's exactly where I would start with you. And for you, in this case, I would actually cut him out of your entourage. And I don't say that very often. But I also know that when we are with cheaters, it's because we don't believe that we can have a lot better. It's a reflection of who we feel and who we are as a woman romantically in our romantic work. The truth is that you deserve somebody amazing as a woman. And again, welcome to my world of being an adored woman. But I want you to get in integrity with yourself. I really do. I want you to acknowledge that this guy, he's not really for you, regardless of how great the sex was. By the way, I know that feeling of amazing sex. Like, I'm never going to have that again. And that's crap too. Sex is also, like I talk about chemistry being malleable, sex is malleable. Sex can be amazing at first and go downhill later. Like anything, it's the effort, the attention, the technique, everything that we put into it. So what I would do in your case is I would start studying your body more and learning about so much about it and how to turn yourself on, that the next man, even if he doesn't come into it and he's sexually as capable as this particular man, you can teach him and you can turn him into a sexual rock star who just kneels at your knees and worships your body, and then also does anything else to you. There are a lot of amazing men out there. For you, Miss Michigan, and for all of my ladies. You don't need somebody that's already committed to another relationship. That's his messiness. If he wants to be with you, he needs to clean that shit up first. So I would do the Lovesick Cure. I would start studying myself sexually. And then the other piece of this, to end it with him, is really simple. You tell him, and you keep it kind of short and sweet. You tell him, the truth is, I really like you. I really enjoy having sex with you. You are phenomenal in bed. But I get stuck on the fact that I know you are a cheater. And unfortunately, with all my romantic dreams, that doesn't work for me. So I wish you the best, but I'm going to pass. And it's as simple as that. So let that soak in. You're going to go through a little bit of hurt. I'm going to make it easier with the Lovesick Cure. But you are one powerful woman for just admitting that you needed help figuring out how to disconnect from this so that you could move through this. I'm really proud of you. Okay, Lover Girl, it's time for the final thought on today's show. You get to decide when the two of you are intimate for the first time. Make the decision that works best for you, not him. This show is brought to you by Irresistibility, expert help for women with online dating. Are you experiencing inbox crickets or real-life crazies? It's not you, it's your online dating profile. Let me help you do online dating that leads to real life, love, and romance. Go to helpmeonlinedate.com and I will send you the first 2 video chapters of my program for free. Hey, Lover Girl, this is Jen again. Don't forget to subscribe to the show in your favorite podcast app, as well as share Single Smart Female with all of your single smart girlfriends. And if you would like to play around and learn more about Mantourage dating, come see me at singlesmartfemale.com. Talk to you next time.